Hilton did look around himself quickly and decided no one was watching him. Even Jarvis, put off by the size of the package, had decided there could be no food and was now maybe 25 feet away, sitting with his back to a tree and starting to wipe some talc powder into his toes. Hilton smiled at his good luck. Sweets to the sweets, he echoed Abby's notes. Smiling, he took another quick look around him, then snatched a whole piece of fudge and devoured it. Boom, gone, just like that. Whole. Oh, that was so good. He used his teeth and his tongue to dissolve it. He noticed a longish, tight wound batch of aluminum foil with the fudge. Hilton lifted the wax paper and pulled the bundle out for examination. The wad had little pieces of red ribbon bowed on each end. He pulled the package back to his face, hoping for just a wisp of Abby. He untied the left bow first. So what if his birthday wasn't till tomorrow? No one around here was going to tell him to wait. Hilton twisted the foil till he could peek inside, and what he saw did truly surprise him. She'd done it again. He smiled in spite of himself, counting. 20, he thought. No, he counted them again. 21. 21 candles for a birthday cake. He really couldn't believe it. He shook his head and laughed aloud, this time hoping that he would catch Jarvis's attention. Candles, he announced, louder than he knew he should have yelled in the gathering gloom. He flashed the steel-foiled wad for his friend to see. Abby sent me 21 candles for a stupid birthday cake. Can you believe that? He shook his head again and slugged another piece of fudge into his mouth when Jarvis showed interest and got up to come over. Hilton watched his blond buddy as Jarvis walked to his pack. That surprised him. Jarvis flipped around in the pack noisily. Hilton could tell that he was pawing through his secret and extensive hoard of sea rations. Hilton lost interest and went back to Abby's package, carefully lifting at the fudge to get at another letter beneath it. Jarvis's boot appeared at Hilton's toes. Hilton looked up at Jarvis, who stood there grinning too widely, and tossed a brown sea ration can up and down in his right hand. Hey man, Jarvis started. I was going to surprise you on your birthday, but who really cares, right? Looks like the party's already started, so I'm thinking I better just give you these tonight. They'll go good with your candles. Sorry I can't have you. Jarvis stopped tossing the can and handed it over to Hilton. Pound cake. Then Jarvis reached into his thigh pocket and pulled out a can of peaches, canned in syrup. He knew they were Hilton's favorite. Sorry I can't offer you ice cream, buddy, he said, and there was a real sincerity in his voice. I don't want you thinking your Abby and I are in cahoots over this or anything, but you've got the makings of a first-class birthday party right here, man. He reached over and slapped Hilton on the arm. Happy 21 years happy 20 years old, you old man, he said. Hilton took the two cans and he grinned at Jarvis. Thanks, man, he said. I do appreciate this. I know what it means for you to give up a can of peaches. Hilton spent the next 10 to 15 minutes reading and rereading the letter from Abby. There was news of the blueberry crop just getting started. There was a funny story about a stupid tourist that she had seen on the wharf beside the schooners, and then a reference to a Bible scripture. He didn't bother to read that one twice. At the end of the letter, she made reference to the postcards and made him promise that they could go back over to the Owl's Head Lighthouse again when he got home. Sure, he thought, we can do that. It was almost dark when Hilton decided he would have the peaches and pound cake right then and not wait for the next day and his real birthday. He ripped at the foil till all of the candles were exposed, then took his P38 out and opened both cans, peaches first. He sipped away the first half-inch of syrup, savoring every single drop, not caring when some of it ran down the corner of his mouth. Hilton took the whole lid off his pound cake, raised the thing to his face so he could enjoy even the smell of the cake. He then turned the cake upside down, popped the seal on the bottom lid, and used his knife to pry the cake out of the can. He even licked the dirty knife, not wanting to lose so much as a crumb of the cake. Hilton found the mess kit cover that the whole squad shared treats off in the proper pocket of Davis's pack. He was glad that David was so organized and so predictable. The cover had even been cleaned. Davis was out on an LP listening post, and no one else carried a plate big enough to do what Hilton intended to do.